Wall Street Journal. Savers pile money into bank CDs as rates top 5%. Did you see that? Where banks are topping 5%. And by the way, when is the last time we had 5%? I think the last.
Yes.
Well, I can tell you who it was. I remember who ran a commercial every day talking about 5%, 4.5%, 5.5%. You know what the company was? ING Direct. I don't know if you remember that. Mm-hmm. Americans are rediscovering CDs as a safe haven amid high inflation, rising interest rates, and economic anxiety. Balances in CDs soaring from $36.5 billion in April. Is this correct? Damn. Did you see these numbers? Balances increased in CDs from $36.5 billion in April of last year to $418 billion January of this year. No, Tom, that's 12x.
No, just 400.
$418 billion. Banks are competing for deposits again after several years of showing little inclination to do so. The top yield in nationally available 12-month CDs are now between 5 and 5.25%, which is significantly higher than the average yield on a 12-month CD, currently at 1.5. Now, CDs work best for relatively short-term savings goals, such as down payment or on a house. It's crucial to shop around and consider that.
But, Pat, that's the problem, is that you're pulling money out of deposits and you're putting them in CDs.
Yes.
And now you have long-dated maturities that there's a mismatch.
Yep, that's a good point. What do you think about it, Tom?
Well, first of all, I agree with the mismatch, but the second part is I think there's your answer. Mortgage originations are at their lowest point in 28 years, and where's the down payment money? I think you're seeing a lot of this is liquid money Americans have. That a significant amount of that you just described is basically down payment money that's on the sideline. This is, and I read last Friday, the most rate sensitive the 35-year-old home buyer today is the most sensitive, that generation, most rate sensitive buyer in the history. Because their lives, they've never seen this. They don't understand that it was perfectly reasonable to have a $600,000 home with a 6% loan on it with reasonable property tax district. They don't understand that that's perfectly realistic. They've been living in a payment economy from their car to everything else they've had that has been so artificial because of ZIRP. And so now it's all coming home to roost, and they're like, 6%, good Lord. And their grandparents are saying, why are you screaming?
I want to show you a scary number. I want to show you a scary number. Somebody just sent this here to me saying, Pat, take a look at this here. And this is by Nick James, who's, if you're watching this, you send it to me. So zoom in here, FDIC, go all the way to the bottom, what their balance sheet is and how much they're protecting. Right now, the amount of money they have, if you look at that closely, they have $125 billion. You know how much they're protecting? $9.9 trillion. Did you hear that?
Yeah, say that one more time.
Okay.
Yeah.
The FDIC
I got a lot of numbers on this page right
has
here.
$125 billion in their balance, but their insured deposits, the $250,000 on the millions of accounts that are out there, they're protecting $9.926 trillion.
Pat,
Insured deposits.
Pat, are you okay?
No, but this is the point. What this is showing
Nobody's
is
okay. That's the problem.
What this is showing is the fact that you can't just say, "We got you. Don't worry about it." No, you don't have the money. Mm-hmm. You don't have the money. By the way, you may be able to do it for one SVB bank, maybe for a second bank. If all of a sudden you get a third, fourth, fifth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, they can't do anything at that point if this happens.
So you're saying they weren't just concerned about the poor citizens with deposits at SVB, that they looked at their own dashboard and said, good Lord, we better make sure there's no runs on banks Monday.
Right. That's right, Tom. That's exactly right.
But by the way, you know what that number is? Do you know what that number is? Like what percentage of the insured deposits they have? What is it 1.26%? It's 1.26%. Yeah, that sounds about right. Do you understand what I'm asking here?
Yes.
Yes. What they have, they only have 1.26%.
Yeah, 900 would be 10%. So yeah, it's about 1.25%. Yeah.
That's it. The reserve ratio.
Okay,
right there.
so that should answer the question here on whether they're saying, well, I just asked the question right now on Twitter. I said, keep it at 250, 501 million unlimited. 36% is the highest, said keep it at 250. 500,000 is the lowest, 12%. 1 million is the second lowest, 23%. But do you know 29% said keep it unlimited?
Limited.
You know what that tells you? Most people have no clue that the number and the kind of funds that we have. How the hell are we going to be able to protect this unlimited when you only have 1.26% of the dollar amount insured right now at the FDIC?
Yeah. Can I tell you actually why, low key, I kind of really appreciate what's happening right now with the Silicon Valley Bank, because it's this whole return to normalcy and all that. These are the types of conversations that we need to be having as Americans with the debt that we're taking on in America, right? And the situations that are going on in the banks over the last few years. The whether it's cultural issues like the wokeism stuff and LGBTQ and critical race theory and all these, then it became abortion and COVID and jabs and NFTs and meta world and I'm buying real estate in the fucking metaverse. Who gives a shit? This is what makes America tick. These are the types of issues that we really need to focus on.
Great point.
And get on the same page here. Not all the nonsensical stuff like I just bought an NFT in the metaverse with a COVID mask attached to it. Let's get past that and get back to reality here. I think that's very important.
Absolutely.
I just ask you to be a little sensible for people that are going through challenging times, and
you
have
bought
a little sympathy and compassion for the folks that bought land at $4.8 million in
the metaverse
freaking metaverse.
Versus
have some
with
respect.
a Bored Ape.
Have a little bit of respect. Seriously.
Hey, you know what?
You're
Disrespectful
insulting
over here.
a lot of people right now.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.